Well, we now have numerous reported cases of Ebola hemorrhagic fever that have been cured by homeopathy. And that is more definitively to say the symptoms of Ebola have been cured using FDA-approved ionized materials listed in the Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia of the United States of America. And the reason for clarifying this is because the word homeopathy is a misnomer in describing the physical chemistry of the materials in question. It doesn't describe it, it's an application. Homeopathy is an application, it's not a description of what the physics of the materials are that we're using. It'd be more accurate to say that the nuclear resonant materials used in the practice of homeopathy are medical isotopes in the class of subtle energy radiopharmaceuticals. Now, this in itself is a huge development. I mean, this is one of those plot points in human history, I think, in my opinion. And this could greatly affect the outcome of medicine, because these materials, as much as they've been belittled and ridiculed and thought of as placebos, their use is growing throughout the world. So it should be noted that this is probably more than what your average loudmouth who thinks he's speaking for science can handle. And it should always be noted in any discussion of homeopathy that, according to the Washington Post, homeopathy is the world's most controversial subject. Now, I've already indicated to you what one reason for this is, the other being that whereas these medical isotopes are regulated, sanctioned, and approved by the FDA, they can be easily made by anyone practically. Practically anyone can make these things by hand. And in their traditional uses, they can't be patented or controlled by intellectual property rights. So what you have is a bit of a conundrum, because whereas these things are very effective in dealing with most situations, dire kind of afflictions and diseases, they just don't have the monetary incentive behind them that you can get with the, where you can get the same kind of, you can't get the same kind of obscene profits that are reaped by pharmaceuticals patented through petrochemical synthesis. And so because homeopathic pharmaceuticals pose such a threat to the mainstream pharmaceutical industry, they are often characterized by supporters of the pharmaceutical industry as having nothing more in them of medicinal value than just pure water, because all of the heavy molecular phase materials have been removed from them in a process of ionization in purified water, which has to be done in order to extrude the isotope. So this, what this does is it leaves a hydroxyl solution containing the specific isotope of the starting material. But this isn't commonly understood. And so people who are looking for a fight or an opportunity to humiliate somebody using what they think is their superior scientific knowledge are quick to insist that because they don't understand the nuclear physics of the materials used in homeopathy, then they must be placebos, biochemically inert, or whatever effects that they may have are just simply due to coincidence or some psychosomatic effect, thereby making the use of these materials unethical. And so accordingly, here in 2015, the claim that one of the modern world's most virulent and contagious diseases was cured or is being cured by the world's most controversial form of medicine will undoubtedly spark red-faced, jealous, foam-at-the-mouth outrage by pseudoscientists who think they should know better. Not that we should know better. Well, they think we should know better too, but that they should know better. See, they think they know better, but they don't. Now, to be honest, I don't really know what the response will be to this video when they find out that Ebola has been cured or is claiming to have been cured, because that's what they'll say. Well, it's just a claim, it's not true. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to say when they find out that Ebola has been cured using homeopathy. But in the past, it hasn't exactly been completely laudatory on 100% of the comments that I receive on the idea that homeopathy can cure the dark continent of its worst and most terrifying scourge, I suspect at least will leave its clown critics breathless. And at this point, it should be stressed that the belief that homeopathic medicine is inert is based on nothing more than theory. It's just theory. That's all they're throwing at us is the null hypothesis. And opposed to contrary putative belief, the actions of homeopathic medicine are based entirely on evidence. The evidence that comes not just from some brief laboratory test or some clinical trial, but from long-term personal use of homeopathic medicine. Now, I know homeopathic medicine works because of my own personal use of it. And you can say whatever you like, or whatever you want, but I'm the final judge of my use of these things, my use of them for me, myself, and I. So I reserve that right to make that decision for myself. I mean, you can go ahead and make the decision for yourself, but really, you're getting on pretty thin ice when you start doing it for somebody else. You see, I know they work because I've used them successfully to treat problems that mainstream medicine couldn't handle time and time again, and I'm still here.